know.
Josh. And they're trying to make things kick off between Tories and Muslims. Is that right?
Yes. Well, more than half of Tory members in polls say Islam is a threat to British way of life. Now, when we're talking about this, we have to be obviously so very, very careful about our language.
Yes.
Because some people might hear Islam and think Muslims, and that might be an understandable thing.
Yeah.
But are we talking about Islam as a religion, which of course has a spectrum to it of observance and certain ideas that some people will definitely not agree with in a Western liberal democracy in terms of portraying images of the Prophet Muhammad or whatever? Or are we talking about Muslims, the people who follow that religion? So this here says Islam, and this is why, of course, we have a problem with the word Islamophobia, which is deliberately designed to conflate the two and create a bit of a muddle.
Isn't there an added trouble with the phrase Islamist, which of
No,
course...
I don't think so at all. I think Islamist is a very clear word, which is Islamic extremists.
Yeah.
People pursuing it. So people have to be really careful about this. Now, this was a poll that was carried out by Hope Not Hate. Now, Hope Not Hate, on the face of it, has done a lot of good, but they've done a lot of good with right-wing organisations. They brought down some serious extremists.
They're also cranks.
Well, here's the other thing. They don't direct any of their... They've done one thing once about, like, left-wing anti-Semitism, like, minor little report. But the reality is we know that there's this huge amount of racism coming from the far left. There's also, frankly, racism coming from the Muslim parts of the Muslim community.
Right.
So the fact that they've not directed any of their efforts there, when 90% of terrorist convictions have been from Islamic extremism, for me, suggests massive hypocrisy.
Well, how about the poll that showed that a little over 50% of British Muslims believe that homosexuality should be against the law?
Well, this is it.
That strikes me as a problem.
Well, that strikes a problem, and that would be part of Islam in terms of probably...
Those aren't extremists.
Those are, So anyway, the point of this poll, there's a poll of 521 Conservative members, found that 58% say Islam poses a threat to the country. Now, if Islam... One of the things it proposes is that homosexuality is wrong, and that leads to a majority of Muslims thinking that homosexuality is wrong, then yes, arguably, that does lead to a threat to this country in terms of us having a liberal democracy where people can be whatever sexuality they want.
It doesn't. If it's a numbers game, isn't it? Muslims are still a tiny minority of this country, right? They don't have that kind of clout. Where it does have an impact is with Sharia courts, which we've had for decades now, which don't have legal standing, but they do have standing within certain communities, and that's bad for gay Muslims. It's bad for female Muslims.
Well, you say that, but let's talk about, we're not talking necessarily about immediate threat to our laws, but we are talking about an Islamic extremist murdered 3 homosexuals in a park, and that is a threat to our country.
But again,
that's the safety of homosexuals in this country.
That wasn't because of Islam. That was because he was an Islamic extremist.
Yes, but you can't. There is a correlation there at some level. Now, when we have to discuss this and discuss it, hopefully in a mature way, is where the conversation needs to be had.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned mature way, because I wanted to bring Lewis in at this point. What do you think about this delicate story? Which I'm sure you will phrase very delicately.
They asked 525 Conservative members, they're party members of the Conservative Party. Yeah. They're a special group amongst this special group. They didn't ask all Conservative voters or even all people who are leaning Conservative. They just asked the most Conservative. And this 58% thought there was a threat. Now, a threat of Islam in the country. The truth is...
Well, threat of Islam.
The truth is like, as Ben Shapiro says, facts don't... feelings. What does he say?
He says facts don't care about your feelings.
Facts don't care about your feelings. The truth is the left has always cared about feelings, right? That's what they believe in. Here, they're denigrating people whose feelings are that there's something dangerous going on. It's a feeling. And these people are told, you cannot feel that.
I think ultimately, Islamism and extremism is a threat to our liberal values. But also another threat to our liberal values would be clamping down on religious freedom. And that would trouble me as well.
But why can't we just say, like, for example, these are about feelings. It could be reality, but these people have a genuine feeling, which is something's not quite right going